What's happening, everyone? My name is Nick and welcome back to the channel. When it comes to live streaming and video on demand, we have seen major players and a few new ones recently. But when it comes to the creme de la creme, rising to the top of the leaderboard is vSeebox. Since the launch of this brand, their boxes and streaming services have provided nothing but the best experience among all of the models. Other brands have taken notice and have since stepped up their game, as you will see in the next couple of videos. But as it stands, vSeebox is the go-to brand I would recommend to deliver the best high quality live streaming with no buffering. Yes, I said no buffering. I can't tell when was the last time I saw the vSeebox buffer. Well, given that you have fast internet. So for today's video, I introduced the vSeebox V5 Pro, which is the updated model to the previous V2 Pro. So let's see what it has to offer. My full review is up next. So I'm back and let's get started. As usual in this unboxing, you have the new vSeebox model, which is the V5 Pro. You get one Bluetooth voice remote, one HDMI cable, one external antenna, a 5 volts 2 amps DC power adapter, and a user manual. So the box's design consists of a plastic shell with the vSeebox branding at the top. For I/O, you have one DC input socket, one HDMI 2.1 output port, one optical audio, one AV port, one Ethernet LAN port, and its external antenna connector. On the side has two USB 2.0 ports and a micro SD card reader. At the front, it has an LED display. And to its base has 4 rubber feet, cutouts for wall mounting, and lots of ventilation holes. So upon first startup, you have the vSeebox animation for a few seconds. Then you are prompted to pair the Bluetooth remote. This is done by pressing the OK button and the volume down button simultaneously, and the box will automatically pair to it. You are then prompted to complete the first startup wizard before being taken to the launcher. So this is the vSeebox launcher, and it's called the Grape Launcher. It features horizontal scrolling panels for all apps installed and recommended apps, and it has a utility bar at the bottom for your system settings, memory cleanup, launcher, hotkeys, and system updates. And I will now proceed with the rest of its standard hardware and firmware features. So first, its basic system and hardware information shows that its operating system is Android 12 tvOS with its current firmware build information with access to developer options. For display, it has up to 4K 2160p at 60Hz. It has HDR display with auto HDR feature. It has built-in screen rotation, but it does not work. It has up to 10-bit color depth. Enabled formats are HDR10 and HLG. It's got auto frame rate switching and HDMI CEC options. For audio, you have audio output mode, audio pass-through. You can enable or disable surround sound audio, and it does not have any built-in surround sound audio decoders. Now it's AIDA64 system and hardware information. The manufacturer is Allwinner, and this model comes with 4GB of DDR4 RAM and 32GB of internal storage with Bluetooth 5.0. Its CPU here again is the Allwinner H313/616, and it's a quad-core Cortex A53 processor clocked at 1.5 GHz, configured in 32-bit mode. Its GPU is the Mali G31 with OpenGLES version 3.2 support. Its network adapter is a Wi-Fi 6AX model that supports dual-band 2.4 plus 5 GHz Wi-Fi. Its Android firmware version is Android 12, and the firmware is not rooted. You don't have a temperature reading because they have disabled the temperature sensor. And for 4K video and surround sound audio, it only has decoders for 4K HDR such as HEVC and VP9. There are no AV1, DTS HD, Dolby Atmos EAC3 or Dolby Vision decoders. And that's its system and hardware info. For digital rights management, and for those who do not know, this is its ability to play subscription movie services such as Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, and others in HD and 4K quality. It is restricted due to insufficient Google certification. Here it shows that it does not even have a Google Widefine level, and it also does not have any HDCP protection. This means no matter what movie subscription you have, whether it's in HD or not, if you use them on this box, it will be restricted to basic 480p resolution. And if you are looking for root access, the Root Checker app shows that its firmware is not rooted. The included Bluetooth voice remote works smoothly and it's easy to navigate. It also features voice commands that work with the box's Google Assistant feature. What's the fastest dog in the world?
The Greyhound. According to WAG, taking the top honor for the fastest dog is the Greyhound. They are spectacularly good movers and their tall stature makes for a beautiful picture as they speed by at 45 miles per hour.
In similar fashion to other boxes carrying this all-winner chipset, its YouTube video resolution is restricted to HD 1080p with no HDR, but the video does play smoothly. If you use an alternative app such as the Smart YouTube TV version, the highest it can go is up to 1440p with no HDR, even if you select the HDR format, but the picture will be extremely choppy. When it comes to playing 4K HDR videos, this chipset is restricted to the HDR10 format only, even though in the settings area, it states that it can play HLG. Each video you play only triggers the HDR10 feature. So other formats you don't get are AV1, Dolby Vision, HDR10 Plus, and HLG. So here is an HDR10 video and it triggers the HDR feature. If you try to play an AV1 video, the box cannot process that format. This is a Dolby Vision video, but it only triggers HDR10. If you try to play this Dolby Vision video with Dolby Atmos, it makes a noise on the TV. And the same goes for this HDR10 Plus video. And finally, this is an official HLG video, but it only triggers the HDR10 feature. For surround sound audio, it gets a bit disappointing. With audio pass-through enabled, I couldn't get any audio when playing surround sound formats, not even from the built-in video player. The only media player that produced audio was the VLC player, and even with that, it could only produce PCM.
The world's first object-based cinematic audio. With powerful moving audio.
For Android gaming, this box does not fit the criteria to be a good Android gamer. Firstly, its CPU is clocked at 1.5 GHz with only 32-bit architecture. The chipset overheats pretty quickly when you task its GPU. And thirdly, the Google Play Store is limited and it lacks many big-name titles. Now a look at some benchmarks and where it ranks on my TV box rankings chart. So for RAM and internal storage, it has a RAM copy speed of 2255 megabytes per second. Its internal storage has a read speed of 108 megabytes per second and a write speed of 48 megabytes per second. In testing the speed of its dual Wi-Fi bands and its Ethernet LAN port, I must say that I'm really impressed with the performance of its network adapter. When connected to my internet of 315 megabits per second, its 5 GHz band achieved the maximum speed, peaking at 318 megabits per second. Its 2.4 GHz band performs well above average with a peak speed of 123 megabits per second, and its LAN port, which is a gigabit LAN port, achieved the maximum speed, peaking at around 317 megabits per second. In benchmarking its CPU's single-core and multi-core performance, the Geekbench 5 CPU benchmark produced a score of 109 single-core and 388 multi-core. Benchmarking its GPU with the 3DMark Gamers Bench produced a score of 126 with an average FPS of 0.80. And in the Antutu benchmark version 8, it received a score of 55,912. So let's now see where it ranks on my chart. So the benchmarks have been entered on my chart, and the new vSeebox V5 Pro at the time of recording this video is at position 141 with a 3 out of 5 star rating based on its Antutu benchmark score. This chart contains all of its benchmarks and firmware features, so to compare them to other boxes in this list, see the link I placed in the description below this video. In summary, this model, even with its drawbacks relating to its surround sound audio issue, I still rate it as the best live TV and video on demand model. This model even has better Wi-Fi and Ethernet LAN speeds than the new V3 Plus. Its live TV and video on demand service is the best, with no buffering and an interface that many users find to be the best in the industry. In closing, I highly recommend this model to purchase, and you can get one using the link in the description for only $289, and that is when you apply my $50 coupon. So see the link and the coupon in the description below this video. Thanks for watching. Give this video the thumbs up if you think that the vSeebox brand is the best at live TV and video on demand. If you are just tuning in for the first time, then I urge you to click the subscribe button and the notifications bell to keep notified when I release new videos, offer one of these boxes at secondhand prices, or decide to do a giveaway. Thanks again for watching, stay connected, and see you in the next one.